Keenan Allen and Caleb Williams give their thoughts now after the firing of Shane Waldron and what can help improve this offense. We're going to take a look at those things and how they can help the team against the Packers, and that's the thing we're going to focus on as well. What are some of the key matchups against the Green Bay Packers coming up to this week and the Bulls updated to the Bears updated injury report? We're going to get to all that and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform you happen to be on. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into this content for today, man. I want to start off with these comments from Keenan Allen and Caleb Williams in regards to moving on from Shane Waldron. The one from Keenan Allen was very telling, I feel like. You guys can let me know how you feel about it. Keenan Allen said this in regards to why things did not work out with Shane Waldron, saying this: I would just say probably he was too nice of a guy. I think during OTA's training camp, he kind of fell into the trap of letting things go, not holding people accountable. Obviously, those things led to a slippery slope. This isn't necessarily the first time we've heard about Shane Waldron maybe being too nice of a guy. Now, I think that it did help at the time where we had the meeting and all the players kind of called out what they weren't happy with the offense. And then we saw some initial change from Shane Waldron after that, but it was against bad opponents. But you do have to, as a coach, you have to command respect. It doesn't mean you have to be disrespectful. It doesn't mean you can't be a nice guy, but you got to do it in a way that you're still able to hold people accountable. And if there was no accountability for performance and things like that, and Keenan Allen, a guy who's a veteran in this league, that goes a long way in showing kind of how Shane Waldron maybe lost this, or the slope that he talked about started him losing this team early. Like basically as soon as he met these guys, you're talking about in OTAs and training camp, that type of thing. And so, I know a lot's going to be made, between here and the next game played about Shane Waldron and what went wrong and how things could have been better, and on Matt Eberflus and on Ryan Poles. But ultimately, it just came down to the simple fact the production wasn't there, the respect seems like it wasn't there, the accountability seemed like it wasn't there, and that's some things that you're hoping to change with this team as well. And you want to set a tone that's not going to be acceptable. Right now, you still got to set a tone of winning. You still got to set a tone of excellence and things like that, but the Bears are trying to get there. They got a long road ahead of them to be able to get there, and so removing somebody like that, I think, was the right thing. Caleb Williams also spoke on it a little bit, and he just a very political answer with this. Really, what Caleb Williams is really good at, says, I don't get to choose the decision, nor do I get to choose whether the decision is good, bad, or indifferent. My job is to listen. And so, I agree with that. And he also added in this: it's tough. You work on however many months together. The guy you've been trying to get on the same page with isn't here anymore. Now you have to adjust. I think those guys are good, easy. We talk about it. I think I have full support from them. I've gotten texts and calls of people coming up to me about the situation that just happened, coming up to me and saying, we got your back, we're with you, and things like that. That kind of mindset and attitude has been what it's been these past couple of days, and that kind of what it's only been. Now, of course, Caleb Williams had to respond to that last part because of what came out about veterans reportedly asking to start Tyson Bagent with. I do want to point out Cole Kmet came out and adamantly said that did not happen. But that doesn't. It's not gonna. At this point, it's out in the ether. It's out in the universe. You're not gonna stop people from thinking that that's something that happened. And it is what it is. If it happened, it happened. We got to move on, and we'll see what comes about it. Right. So ultimately, the Bears need to get back to the point now of focusing on the football field. You got a huge test coming in the building now with the Green Bay Packers. You cannot. Let me not say you cannot lose, but you don't not want to look flat against this Green Bay Packers team because they're coming for you. And this is things could potentially get worse, right? All this is changing before one of our biggest matchups as far as the fan bases. The Packers and the Bears have been rivals for over 100 years, right? We're talking about generations of Bears fans that have just grown up like, hell, I'm one of them. Like, do I even initially remember why I hated the Packers? Now, I know that I hate Aaron Rodgers, but this is a big matchup, right? And so, you got to get that together. And, if the Bears can kind of rally together and get on the same page and get up for this matchup, I'm not saying that it eliminates everything with the season, but I'll tell you what, it'll go a long way in Bears fans and how they feel about this team if we can get a win against the Packers. I'll tell you that much. Like, it'll do a lot for the morale, probably not only just for the team, but for the fan base as well. So if you're able to do that, go out there and get that dub, right? So that's what the Bears need to focus on at this point. And it seems like him and DJ Moore are focused on it as well. DJ Moore saying this: me and Caleb were talking yesterday. He's in a good space. I'm in a good space. All connections on offense are going to get better. Yeah, you've got to have support for him. He's going out there, busting his butt, trying to learn everything. Defenses are throwing a lot at him. And the Packers are going to throw a whole hell of a lot at Caleb Williams. And listen, this rivalry is still a rivalry as far as both teams still get up. We got comments from Xavier McKinney, right, in regards to him, calling out DJ Moore in regards to him walking off the field. This all stems from like DJ Moore in an interview, on Up and Adams before, kind of, saying he's not really too worried about McKinney and things like that. So listen, at the end of the day, these guys are going to go at it, right? And McKinney does not respect DJ Moore. And he says, you're supposed to be the guy and you're walking off the field, right? You're supposed to be the guy. You're walking off the field on a rookie quarterback that you've been praising. So it's like, that's a whole other story. And so listen, it is what it is, man. This thing is still a rivalry. It's still going to be fun and interesting to watch. And I think that DJ Moore also has a lot that he needs to prove as well. His body language has been off. He's clearly been frustrated by the state of this offense. I think while a lot of Bears fans are going to understand that aspect of things, of being frustrated by where this team is, hell, we're all frustrated. Now, I would question who you are and your integrity if you're not at least a little bit frustrated by the current state of the Chicago Bears and where we are right now as a player that's on that field, right? But DJ Moore has been, not quite himself. And DJ Moore is usually a very quiet guy, right? And I will never be out against the players speaking their mind and speaking to what they honestly feel like they're seeing out there on the football field that's holding their team back. I want you to have that pride. I want you to have that desire. I want you to have that want to be able to be in here, right? So I want all those things, but DJ Moore, he has to perform better. And we got to get off the line. Our wide receivers got to get open. Again, that does not take away from the performance of Caleb Williams. Caleb got to be better. He has to be better. And so, this is a thing that I say this, right? Where there's a lot of turmoil right now about the Chicago Bears, and we've been on a slope basically since after the bye week. And it does not fix things. It doesn't change the whole outlook of the season. And no, I'm not somebody that says all is fixed if you can beat the Packers. No, no, it doesn't fix the overall season. Yeah, it gives me the fact that we can have a little bragging rights over those cheeseheads. Yeah, absolutely sure there, right? But that's not anything major. That's not anything substantial as far as like if your season overall sucks. But if Thomas Brown, as a first-time play caller, if this offense looks better and we can get a win over the Green Bay Packers, I'm telling you right now, a lot can go as far as changing kind of the mood around this team, right? And so, you would hope to be able to see that. And overall, listen, we just got to get it together, man. The offense has been in a complete slide over the last few weeks. The morale of the team has been in a complete slide over the last few weeks. Overall, like the place of this team and where we are right now, it sucks. It really, and I know that's a kind of like an oversimplification. It's like, hey, can you give more analysis than it sucks? No, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. And to be right now, and I know a lot of Bears fans are still asking the question, what the hell is going on with Matt Eberflus, right? And right now, ESPN came out, Dan Garzanios came out and said this. Yeah, I think there's a feeling around the Bears. Probably will be looking for a new coach in the offseason, and that their target will be QB-centric guys. That might not be fair to the current head coach, Matt Eberflus, but his inability to select a successful offensive coordinator could be what does him in. Looking at the rest of the division, the Bears ownership sees young star coaches in Minnesota and Green Bay and the ultimate culture-building coach in Detroit. So it's probably going to want to make a dynamic and exciting hire. I mean, listen, is that what you need? Is it just that he can't select? If that's the biggest thing, he can't select a successful offensive coordinator, we got some bigger problems to worry about, because there's a lot more going on with Matt Eberflus than just not being able to select a successful offensive coordinator. But I'm going to let my trigger in. I'm going to calm down. I've decided to kind of park my attitude and things until we get into the offseason when it comes to Matt Eberflus. I don't want to get pre-mad at anything, but here's what I'll say. The Bears clearly, as we were trying, and we've shifted the culture from where it is, but the fact is that we've changed the culture and we've built kind of a better culture in the sense that we got better guys, we got high character guys. It's not about me. We got those type of things, but it's still losing, right? It's still fucking losing. So you can't have a good culture and lose and expect people to like buy into that. And one would question, like, is the culture even good with how some of the things have gone here? So we got to get it together, and we can start getting it together in this week coming up against the Green Bay Packers. And what are some of the things that need to work out for the Bears? Now, we know that the injury report came out yesterday. It's not necessarily the best. It's not the worst either, right? When you look at it, when it comes down to that injury report, still some questions on it overall. Montez Sweat did not practice, but at this point, I think that happens a lot with Montez Sweat at this point in the week. Like, he just doesn't practice. Like, not to Nate Davidson at all, but I think he is dealing with some things, and he is an important piece. And the Bears really look at it and say, all right, bet, let's go ahead and let's try to give Montez Sweat a breather here where we can, and then we'll come from it at a different angle at that point in time. So, I'm not really too worried about the Montez Sweat part of the injury report, the fact that he did not practice. Again, it could be concerning because if we're missing him, it's going to be very concerning and very big. But, Kieran Amagaje didn't practice. Jaquan Brisker's still not practicing. Tevin Jenkins did not practice. Various Moore did not practice. He's in the concussion protocol as well. But then we got Braxton Jones back, Noah Sewell, Darnell Taylor, Darnell Wright. These guys are all back on the practice field. And so that's a step in the right direction for the Bears. And so when you look at this game against the Packers, what are some of the things that the Bears are going to have to do? The secondary is going to have to be prepared for Jordan Love. It just is what it is. Jordan Love has thrown for 15 touchdowns and 10 interceptions so far in the season, and he's tied for most in the league. So this needs to be an attacking secondary, and we've seen and done that before. But this secondary needs to keep their heads up because they are going to be able to get some turnovers. We forced 16 turnovers so far in the season. That's 7th best in the NFL. Jordan Love, despite the things that he does good, he is a turnover-prone quarterback, and so the Bears can take a point of that as well. And so, yeah, that's where I really want to see the Bears secondary versus Jordan Love and how we perform against that team. That's going to be a very big thing. The next thing, the pass rush of the Packers. The Packers pass rush is, it's okay, right? And Caleb Williams admitted it. He said it, that some of the sacks that he took last week were on him. It wasn't necessarily on the offensive line. So this is an opportunity for the offensive line to kind of get in rhythm. Caleb Williams to learn from what he's done and stop getting sacked in times that come up against him. 9 sacks in week 10. We can't get sacked like that again, right? So keep in mind, the most sacks ever in a game was 12. And so we do not want to allow a Packers pass rush that still has some things to prove to necessarily have a big day against the Chicago Bears. They have to try to avoid that when they do. I mean, where they can. And so this is one of those games where you want to keep the pass rush out of it. You got to keep the pass rush out of it. And overall, if we can keep Caleb Williams off the ground more than he's on the ground, that goes a long way in helping the Chicago Bears team being able to win this game against the Green Bay Packers. You also need to establish the run game. That's something that's there every single week for the Bears. You can't, let me not say you can't, but this Bears team I don't think is going to have a successful pass game if they can't establish the run. You got to find a way to establish the run, and you got to get your weapons involved. Meaning we got to get Cole Kmet, we got to get Roschon Johnson, we got to get DeAndre Swift. We got to get all these guys involved early in the game, and that's what's going to help. And play more to Caleb Williams' strengths. Yes, Caleb Williams has played like trash, and I'm never going to overlook that. I'm never going to act like he has not played badly. He absolutely has. He has to be better, and we need to expect more from Caleb Williams. And this is an opportunity for him to start giving some more. And so let's hope that that's the case, man. Yeah, let's hope that it's the case. And at the end of the day, if the Bears can come up against this Packers team, the defense, we got to get some pressure on Jordan Love as well to make it harder on him. Those wideouts of the Green Bay Packers, we got to guard them well in that zone coverage that we run as well. Look out for Jalen Johnson to have a big day. Tyreek Stevenson still on his redemption tour. We got Kyler Gordon back. We need to perform extremely well in these games if we want to have a chance to win them. And if we can't, it's going to be a long, ugly day for the Chicago Bears, period. We got to get that together. If we can get that together, that goes a little way in helping this Bears team for sure as well. So let's see if the Bears can do it, if they're up for the task. This game against the Packers is going to be litty. I mean, that's just to say. It's a busy Sunday. The Bears play, the Bulls play, the WNBA draft lottery that impacts the Sky. So it's an important day for Sky Sports. I mean, for Chicago sports. And it's all highlighted by the fact that we take on those motherfucking cheeseheads. And let's go out here and get a goddamn dub, right? And so, I really hope that it can, because I think it could do a lot for the mindset of the fan base. Does it fix everything? No. Does it solve anything, really? No. But it can go a long way in helping to get us in a better place, right? And that's what it's about, is improvement week after week, game after game, and us trying to get to a place where we need to be. So let's hope that the Bears can do that. Let me know, and I'll have a more comprehensive, like exactly what kind of plays into the strengths and the weaknesses and things like that. But this Bears team just has to execute, and the offense has to be able to put points on the board. You got to put like all the work that the defense can do. Unless the defense is going to get takeaways and be a scoring defense, it's all for naught. You are wasting the performance of your defense if you cannot get your shit together and put up points on the offensive side of the ball. And, it's a lot thrown at Thomas Brown, but at the end of the day, hey, you're the offensive coordinator, my boy. You got to go out there and call those plays. But with that said, there's voicemail has been packed with all the Bears news and changes and things. We got a voicemail that I want to get into today. This one's from Xavier.
What's going on, guys? This is Xavier calling in again, man. Whew, the Shane Waldron firing, bro. It's about 2 weeks too late, 2-3 weeks too late. But we still got the main issue which is I feel is the offensive line, as we know. If that ain't changing, bro, if we ain't bringing no offensive line, bro, I don't know what the hell firing Shane Waldron is gonna do. I get it. The offense has been horrible and inept, but we still have that same offensive line, bro. That's not gonna fix that, bro. And then we still got Flus, bro. And like I said 2 weeks ago, I feel like that team gave up on him, and they're done with him, bro. So why keep him, man? Y'all know he a lame duck, bro. This is the problem with this organization, bro. Ryan Poles should have fucking took it upon himself to get him up out of there. All that buddy shit, I don't care about, bro. This is the problem with this organization and why they will not go far, bro. We can't keep doing the same thing over and over, bro. We're about to run another quarterback, bro. We're about to run another quarterback, bro. And I just pray that Caleb is mentally strong enough to bounce back and believe in himself and believe in his abilities to be able to be a starting NFL quarterback. But, bro, I don't know, bro. Like, literally, firing Shane Waldron, I get it, bro. He was a huge problem. I understand it. I'm happy about it. I'm not mad. But Flu should be gone too, bro. He shouldn't have been making no decisions about who to fire. You did the same shit with Luke Gessie last year, and you still didn't get it right with Waldron. It's like, bro, come on, man. Like, why would he be able to pick these motherfuckers again, and then he firing people like he in charge, like he running some shit? Ryan Poles needs to get his head out of his ass, bro. Get rid of Flus and just scrap the season, bro, because, it's over, bro. It's over. Ain't no playoffs. Ain't none of that shit. And I just pray, like I've been saying since the beginning of the year. I don't know if Caleb's going to make it through healthy, bro. I don't know. And we talking about physically and mentally. Because mentally, he looks dumb, bro. And this is the same thing with Justin Fields. Everybody like, oh, they're holding the ball too long. Yes, they do. But when you're getting hit, you're going to have happy feet back there and you're going to be indecisive. But Chicago will bear down, man.
All right, Xavier. Here's the thing, man. I get it saying it's 2 weeks too late or whatever it is, but the Bears are coming out of a bye week, and I'm not of the mindset that it's too there was nothing. It's not going to turn around this whole season. So it being too late or not, like at the end of the day, the move that the Bears made here in doing this and moving on from Waldron and moving on from whoever, it wasn't going to ever completely change the season in the direction that the season is going to. And yeah, the offense has absolutely been terrible. The offensive line has been bad. Caleb Williams' decision making has been bad. He's holding on to the ball too long sometimes. It just is what it is, right? But you can say you don't care, but you do. And the thing is, we all care about where this organization is. Because if we didn't, we wouldn't be watching the team. If you didn't, you wouldn't be leaving and leaving these voicemails. So, at the end of the day, yes, the Bears, if they can bounce back, it'd be great to see. If they can, it's great. But, to say that it's all over, it's not, because you still got progression and development to do. Is it over in the sense of trying to make the playoffs? Probably, right? But that's not the only thing that you can do to get progression, right? So you want Caleb Williams to be able to grow and deliver. You want him to be able to, and yes, we need to keep him healthy. That is a big thing as well. But the offensive line and the work and the lack of work, I should say, that Ryan Poles did on that offensive line is loud, it's evident, and it sucks, to be quite frankly. And to see that, and it's more than just the offensive line, but people say things like Caleb Williams got the yips and things like that, and I think there's some truth to that, but Caleb still has to be better. We brought you in here because you are a better quarterback, right? As far as the sense of how you pass the ball, not doing things with your legs, but actually being in that pocket, manipulating the pocket, reading defenses, going downfield, and we need to see much better from you. That just is what it comes down to. We need better from Caleb Williams. We deserve better from Caleb Williams. Caleb got to wake up. And so while, yes, the happy feet thing and all that does play a role into that, absolutely, I still say this. You want Caleb to go out there and you want him to fix. Now, do you want him to get hurt? No. You don't want to put him in a chance to get hurt. And Ryan Poles got to sit there, live with that decision, and wonder why yet again another quarterback under your watch is going to be one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the game of football. Ryan Poles, if nothing else, regardless of the Eberflus, the Shane Waldron, the Caleb Williams of it all, this comes back to the guy who's the orchestrator of this team. You thought that this offensive line, that you did enough to patchwork this offensive line, that it was going to maybe hold together enough until you can address it in next year's draft. If that's even what you thought, you were wrong. The offensive line is trash. The offensive line is going to get your quarterback's head knocked off, and Ryan Poles got to sit there and live with that decision and make better decisions going forward, Poles. You got to be better because the evaluation that you did of that offensive line was cheeks, my boy. It was utterly cheeks, just like the offensive lineman that you brought in here. Utterly ass. A 12-pack of ass, right? And Ryan Poles now gets an opportunity to go out there and show that he can do better and make better decisions and build this offensive line better, and he better goddamn well do it. But that's my time for today. Make sure you guys are following the show at Shy Bears Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related, but that's thanks to you lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, Chi-Town up, but bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.